Do you love the Tabernacle Choir? This year, the choir's music is everywhere you are. Listen to your favorite choir songs and music and the spoken word anytime you want on Alexa by simply enabling the skill.
Alexa, play music in the spoken word.
Now playing music in the spoken word.
You can also download the Tabernacle Choir app, subscribe to the choir on YouTube, listen on Spotify, and have access to all their wonderful music. Happy listening.
DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We are joined by Mike Folta, radio play-by-play voice of the Utah Mammoth. And his appearance is brought to you by Hercules First Federal Credit Union, growing stronger together. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, guys. I'm sitting here in my robe. I've got my Earl Grey tea looking out over the beautiful Minnesota landscape, Target Field right beneath us. But the road trip rolls on for the Utah Mammoth. Did not get the win last night, but did get a point in an overtime loss to Chicago. And it's already been the most successful road trip in team history, crazy enough, with the 7 points so far. But looking to pick up a couple more against a really good Minnesota team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it has been. It's been an exciting one. The game before the other one there with Cooley on the goal, that was a fun game to watch. A lot of scoring, a lot of action. And so they've had success as far as that goes, and it's looking good. But I'm wondering, when they first got here, it was we're in development, and then into this season, we want to make the playoff, blah, 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 postseason. What is the talk of the team now? Because it's looking good, but you don't want to start to take it easy because it could slip away, obviously.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the lesson that this team is in the middle of learning right now is handling success. We've seen this team bounce back from failure and handle failure really well, where they stop a one-game slide from turning into two, or one bad game leads usually to a good game because they're a little pissed off. But I think handling success and finding ways to bring it after you've won a couple games, like last night, the Mammoth had won 3 games in a row heading into last night, and they didn't play their best game against a Chicago team that's near the bottom of the standings, that on paper they should beat, but the Hawks were juiced up and played with more urgency than Utah did. And so I think that's kind of the next lesson that we're seeing this team starting to figure out or go through the pangs of learning is how to keep the foot on the gas when you do have a little bit of a cushion in the standings and when you are in the spot you want to be, because the Mammoth right now in that top wild card spot by a couple of points. That's right where they want to be. That's really probably as good as they can be this year. Nobody's touching those top 3 spots in the Central. And so how do you maintain the urgency level when there's nobody breathing down your neck? How do you manufacture that? That's what we're finding out from this team here late in the season.
Well, is it because guys with Cooley coming back and making the trade as well, whether you're a defenseman or whether you're on a line, it seems like there's competition for playing time.
Yeah,
and who you're partnered with.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that internal competition's been there since training camp. This has been, you said it, a great point, DJ. Up front and on the back end, there's a lot of competition. It's been a really deep forward group. Like one of our fan favorites, Liam O'Brien. He's been out of the lineup ever since Logan Cooley and Alexander Kerfoot came back. Brandon Tanev was acquired via free agency this last offseason. They're paying him $2.5 million a year, and he hasn't been in the lineup because when everybody's healthy, it's a really deep team. And it's the same on the back end. Mikhail Sergachev's been out the last couple games. He's your best defenseman, and still you have a really good defense core with Nick DeSimone stepping in as that next man up, so to speak. So, yeah, that internal competition is certainly there, and I think that can drive guys on an individual level, but the team also has to find motivation as a group to turn the dial up to 10 whenever the puck hits the ice.
Only a few games here since the trade, but how is Mac Wee fitting in?
McWee. I like that. He's been good. He's a pro. He's been around the league a while. It's interesting because his first game in Columbus, he led the team in ice time.
Right.
And so it was like, okay, no training wheels here. And he didn't even take morning skate, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's still wearing his "Hello, my name is" in the locker room. And he led the team in ice time that first night. He's also playing his offside, so he's a right-handed shot, but he's playing the left side on the defense pair. And so that's hard because, when pucks rim around the boards and you have to stop a puck along the wall, with him, he has to now do that on his backhand as opposed to his forehand. And there's a whole bunch of other situations where that's a little bit more difficult. So he's had to deal with that as well. When Mikhail Sergachev comes back to the lineup, we're expecting Mackenzie Weegar to play on a pair with Sergachev. That would be Utah's top pair. But Sergachev has not been in since Weegar made his debut with the team. So we haven't seen this D-Corp at its full potential yet. So that is something to look for in the coming games. Not sure when Sergachev's going to be back, but hopefully it's soon. We just have a day-to-day designation on him, which is good. So not sure what this blue line can look like at full strength, but the returns are really good for Weegar so far. He touches every part of the game, guys. He's feisty. Like, he'll stick up for his teammates. Clayton Keller took a bit of a shove last game, and Weegar skates right over and gives the Chicago guy what for a little bit. He'll hit, but he can also move the puck. He's got really good offensive sense. Was one of the league leaders in breakout passes, so he's one of the best in the league at getting the puck out of his own zone, which is one of the chief responsibilities of a defenseman. So I'm bullish on it and excited to see what he continues to look like in Mountain Blue.
Do you have any explanation for why the Mammoth are 0-3, have taken 1 point out of a possible 6 against the last-place Blackhawks? They're having such a good year. So many things are going right, but to struggle, I mean, they've been outscored 10-3 by Chicago. It didn't make any sense on the surface.
No, yeah, I don't have an explanation. You lost to them early in the year in kind of an icky game. I think that was a back-to-back as well. I'm not remembering properly. But then you lay a complete egg, 9 days ago now at the Delta Center, lose 4-0. That was just a case of taking a team lightly and taking a game lightly, and the Blackhawks took advantage. And then last night, it was probably a C- game from Utah, and the Blackhawks, their first goal bounced in off the guy's backside. I mean, that's the kind of goal I score playing men's league hockey up in Ogden. Just like literally, puck just gets thrown to the net, and it's a little booty bump past Vitek Vanacek. The second goal that was scored was, you guys know what the Michigan is? That move in hockey?
Where you scoop it up on and you skate behind and then you dunk it, basically. Yeah. You carry it on your stick. Yeah. It's from a Frozen Four.
A lacrosse type goal. Yeah, you got it. You guys got it. It was like a semi-Michigan last night. So for the second goal, which you never expect to give up one of those. And then they went in overtime. So they didn't have enough urgency. They didn't play terrible for the entire game, but just didn't. I don't know if they ran out of a little bit of gas here on the road trip or what, but I don't have an explanation. Give credit to the baby Blackhawks for coming out with some urgency. But yeah, that's disappointing to only take 1 point out of 3 games against that team. Good news for Utah is that they're going to see them again in a couple days. They'll play the Blackhawks on Thursday at the Delta Center again. And so hopefully you can at least salvage a little bit of the season series.
How about the goalkeeping there in Philly? We've been looking for backup. I think it might have been you. Maybe it was somebody else talking about they might have been looking for some help in the trade market. But they go with what I'm calling Twin V, and he pitches his shutout. How about that?
Yeah, the Flying V. Yeah, he got his 100th win, his first shutout in over a year. A big night for Vitek Vanacek against Philly. So we typically see Vitek every 4 or 5 games, and even less here recently. But he comes in against Philly, gets the shutout, and he only saw 16 shots, but he was really good. He made some A-plus saves. And then we see him again here within the span of 3 games on the road trip. So I think there's a little bit more faith in Vitek Vanacek now. He's played some really good games, has not had a lot of run support. I mean, he might be the Paul Skeens of the NHL. Like, Vitek will look great for a night and will score 1 goal, and Vitek will get pegged with the loss. That's kind of what happened against Chicago. He was really good, made some great stops against Connor Bedard last night, but unfortunately had 1 goal, get pinballed by him, didn't really have a chance, and then the Hawks scored kind of a fluke goal to tie it at 2. But he's been really good in 2 of the last 3 games that the Mammoth have played where he's been the starter.
Right.
And we know that it's Karel Vejmelka's net, but last year Vejmelka played 24 of the last 25 games of the season. It's not going to be the case this year, and the hope is that Veggie's a little bit more rested coming down the stretch. We're still going to see a lot of them, but to be able to spell them like we have with Vitek is really important.
How much do the guys talk about what's going on around the league? Because you're playing so many games, you're traveling so much, there's so many other games to follow. I got to think, just with Josh Doan having been here and guys knowing him, he's got 21 goals, he's got 23 assists, he's having a breakout year. The Sabres have won 7 in a row. They haven't been to the playoffs since 2011, and they're in first place in their division. Guys talk about that at all, or it's just too busy with their own thing?
I'm sure they do. And when we went to Buffalo, a bunch of them had dinner with Josh Doan and Michael Kesselring, the 2 guys that were traded from Utah to Buffalo. And those 2 guys have been right in the middle of this Sabres resurgence. And it's one of the best stories in hockey. It's one of the best stories in sports. Buffalo's missed the playoffs for almost a decade and a half now. It's a starving fan base, and they are on fire right now. Whenever we get, those ratings, like a list of cities that have the best ratings for certain events, when it's a hockey-related event, Buffalo is always number 1 or number 2. Even when they're bad, even when the Sabres aren't playing, it could be the Stanley Cup Finals, it could be the Olympics, whatever the TV ratings, Buffalo is at the top of that list. That is an incredible hockey fan base that has had nothing to cheer about for 14 years. And now, they're ready to march with torches and pitchforks to Toronto just for the heck of it, because they're flying right now. Did you guys see the game Sunday night where they won 8-7, and there was 100 penalty minutes in the game? There was a million fights. I don't know if you guys caught that at all. It was between Tampa Bay and Buffalo for the top spot in the Atlantic Division. Buffalo comes out on top 8-7. They had 18 penalties in the first period. It was incredible.
I didn't see the game, but I did see the story, and I saw that Josh Doan scored the first goal and the last goal, and they're both on power plays. So
yeah, he
sandwiched all 15 goals.
Yeah, and we knew he was going to be a good player, right? There just wasn't room for him in Utah, and he signed a big contract as well. So good for him on that front. But it's fun times in Sabertown right now. They're getting their old chance going, and it's feeling like the early 2000s there.
Well, of course he was going to be a good player, and of course he was going to be an outstanding human being because he went to college at Arizona State.
There it is. There it is. He did. He only went there for 2 years, though, I think. Did you still claim him there?
Yeah.
If he's successful, sure.
That's how long you went, right? 2 years?
I went 7. And I need a couple more. I need a couple more classes to graduate.
Not true.
I didn't know you had your doctorate, BK.
I have a doctorate in love. Yeah, our listeners can verify that. Yeah. So if you ever got any questions, Mike.
Proud Sun Devil.
Yeah. If you ever got any questions, I know you're still trying to find your way here in Salt Lake. Let me know. I can help you.
Still waiting for the assistance on the golf course. Still waiting for that hookup to come through.
Okay, what do you want? You should have told me while you're in Buffalo. I could have got you a time.
Well, I'd love to play with you sometime. The only stipulation is you have to wear a helmet because it gets a little. I have a hard time keeping it between the navigational beacons.
I play with DJ. I know what you mean.
Just sitting over and minding my own business, catching strays.
College basketball tournament's coming up, fellas.
And I was going to ask you, is it Michigan and everybody else in the Big Ten?
Oh, my God. I'm just embarrassed that Purdue has to play on a Thursday and don't get the quadruple bye or whatever it is. I saw Michigan in person.
I know, that's why I'm asking you.
They're incredible. Yeah, I think they're definitely the class. But in this tournament, anything can happen. You know who I was hanging out with last night at the United Center was Gene Honda, the legendary PA voice of the United Center and of the Chicago Bulls. And I always give him a little jab. He's a big Illinois fan and, of course, a big Bulls fan. And so have to bring up, Jordan pushing off and all that, as is my contractual obligation now that I work for a Utah-based sports team.
Yeah, that lives in infamy. I once saw, you know how you have, you can be in a neighborhood and internet names of, like, your neighbor will come up and it'll come up on your phone and you don't click on it, but you see
other people's code names, essentially, for their wireless.
And I one time I was in town somewhere and it came up on my wireless and it was Jordan pushed off, which is what they have
at the arena.
Yeah.
But they're not the only ones using that.
Right.
Nice.
I tweeted something that we were in Chicago, and the first reply from a guy with like a University of Utah handle just said Jordan pushed off. That was the first reply on Twitter. I'm like, yep, this is a good bit here. But I also had the bit. Can you guys help me out? Is this a movie quote? Like somebody walking into Chicago and saying, the Big Apple. Like, I'm not original. I know I didn't come up with that, but I'm trying to remember where I did. And I've posted that every time I've gone to Chicago. And, like, my comments are just full of people who don't know it's a joke. But I can't defend myself. I can't defend myself because I don't know what movie it's from.
They don't know it's a joke? I find that hard to believe.
I'm getting lambasted on Twitter. People thinking that I didn't pass fifth grade social studies. I grew up 3 hours away from the city. I know it's not called the Big Apple.
AI says that based on the phrase, it's probably Buddy arriving in New York City and saying, "Wow, a city, the Big Apple." But I can't find an example of someone. Yeah, in the 2003 movie Elf, Christmas
awesome
classic.
Movie. Yeah,
I probably stopped and watched portions of it 8 or 10 times this past December. Yeah, I don't see anything that ties it to Chicago. That to tie it to Chicago is just your own unique sense of humor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
Buddy drops the line.
Usually I just steal my lines, but all right.
There you go. All right, Mike, we'll talk to you again next week. Hey, maybe you'll get a shootout. I just realized you're the only radio guy in the league who hasn't gotten to call a shootout yet. Yes.
I'm fine with that, guys. Let's just get it done in OT. Get on the bus and tuck me in for the night. We don't need the skills competition.
Back-to-back OT games. I keep waiting. Maybe this will be the shoot. No, not this time. All right, Mike. We'll talk to you again next week.
See you guys.
Mike Folta, Utah Mammoth radio voice. Brian Geltzeiler, SiriusXM NBA radio and NBA TV is going to join us at 9 o'clock. What does he think about Dwayne Wade trying to get LeBron to Utah? What does he think about the top players in the draft? How does he rank them 1, 2, 3? We'll get to all of that coming up with Brian Geltzeiler at the top of the hour. Stay with us.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
They are still continuing to get this elite talent. They are getting lottery-level talent committing to BYU. And, I don't expect Bruce Branch III to be as good as AJ has been. But you can't replicate what you're doing this season where it's all AJ, maybe a little Rob Wright. You've got to find a more holistic approach to a basketball team. Having just stars and nothing else has really killed BYU this year.
Don't get caught up in we have a top 5 guy, so that means that the bar is Final Four. I don't think the connective tissue has ever been in there that closely to point Ace Bailey. And Rutgers did nothing. They had 2 of those guys. And so I don't know if that's entirely what wins in college basketball, really ever, but anymore.
Catch Jake and Ben weekdays from 10 to noon on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
As America's most trusted movers, Mayflower has seen it all, from big dreams and new beginnings.
All right, here we are.
Oh, it's perfect! To first steps and fixer-uppers. From starter homes.
So guess what? We're having another.
Another? We definitely need more space.
To more practical homes. Yes, Mayflower has been there for it all and will always have your back. Every moment, every move, every step of the way. Schedule your move now by going to Mayflower.com.
Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of Continental tires. Go to TireRack.com to see their Continental test results, tire ratings, and reviews, and be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
That's the sound of a big deal. At Wayfair, that sound happens a lot. Dream sofa for half the price? Big deal. New dining table you've been eyeing for months? Big deal. Finally picking up those last few pieces and finishing that bedroom? Now that's a really big deal. Whatever your home needs, Wayfair has the selection, the savings, and over millions of 5-star reviews to back it up. Shop Wayfair.com today before someone else snags your big deal.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
The sun's shining, birds are singing, and all feels right in the world.
Until the season changes, and suddenly you lose your motivation to get out of bed. In fact, 1 in 5 people experience some form of depression, no matter the season or time of year.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all, because we want you to live your best life and be your best you all year round.
Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
DJ and PK. Question of the morning. Dwayne Wade recruiting LeBron James to play for the Jazz. Do you want him? There are so many people saying no in our comments and in a million different ways. No. No way. Absolutely not.
Well, they so poo-poo.
2 guys that he won championships with, and they weren't role players on the team. They were very important players on the team, are here now. If they were both in his ear, and it's Kevin Love also, right? Dwayne Wade from Miami, Kevin Love from Cleveland. If they were both in his ear saying, here's where you need to be, here's how you need to play it, here's why it's a good idea. One person tells you something, PK, just take your own experience in radio. You know, if I tell you something, and then you talk to Scotty G about it, you might think one thing, but if we're both telling you something, isn't it just human nature? Doesn't that stop you and get you to think?
It does for me. I think that's where coming in, me being the youngest.
Having 2 older sisters where if one sister tells you something and then the other sister tells you something, you start to think, oh, maybe
And then my one sister's husband.
Mentor to you,
was
right?
My guy.
Yeah.
And I knew that those 3 people
had your back.
Right. The only agenda they had was my happiness, my success, nothing else, ever. I could always rely on them. And they're older than me. It'll be crushing when they go. Hopefully not for many years. And so I think me being the youngest and having advisors all the time, I tend to listen to people. I'm not a good listener. I'm not saying I'm a good listener. But if somebody gets in my face and says, you need to do this, there's like a high chance that I'd do it. Because I trust them. If I have your trust and they tell me something, then I'm going to seriously consider it, if not do it. So yes, to your question, I see your point that you're making.
Because my immediate reaction when I saw you posted this, and we didn't talk about it, we rarely talk about it. Usually just something occurs to you, you post it, and they're usually good topics. And if they aren't, they don't get comments, and we don't use them when we skip them, right? So we don't really need to.
Right.
My immediate reaction when I saw this is, LeBron would never do that. Why do I want to spend time on this? He's not going to do that. And for a multitude of really good reasons that don't have to do with anybody dumping on Utah for the 10 millionth time. It's like, He's older. He's settled in L.A. He's got a lot of business interests there. If he were going to go anywhere, go to Golden State, play with Steph Curry. He's in his 40s. It's time.
Yeah, but
maybe it's even past
the
time.
Warriors to L.A. is not much closer than it is here.
I know, but the draw of Steph Curry and the celebrity that's been talked about forever and the curiosity, I don't think that's happening either, because if it were happening, I don't think Curry would be stepping away. And Curry doesn't seem to have any interest in signing a deal. It seems like there's a million signals that he's going to walk away from the Warriors, and he could pivot on a dime and stay. I don't have any sources, but
LeBron brings
everyone's
the biggest
reading that.
celebrity with him wherever he goes.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, LeBron, Tom Brady, Shohei. I guess with Brady retired, you could go Mahomes. Like those people walk in a room and like, wow.
I'm not even sure Mahomes has it.
That's why I went Brady first.
Yeah. So
Mahomes is coming so quickly in Brady's shadow. Even though what Mahomes is doing is awesome, I mean, he's not halfway to Brady. And Brady's still on TV. It's not like he's gone away.
Right. It just seems like with Mahomes, once the season ends, we don't hear about him until the next season. We can hear about his father's missteps more than
he's
himself.
A big-time celebrity, but he does seem to enjoy some quiet time.
Yeah.
And
his brother was running around.
I did recently hear that one of the places he likes to be quiet is in the state of Utah. And because he's quiet, but somebody might see him at some point, somewhere.
I think LeBron is a guy who is open to different things.
I mean, he certainly led his career in a different way, so I think that what we've seen from him publicly backs that up. He's not just the moves he's made with teams and going back to teams and moving again, but also in who he's associated with. And I read an interview once. I don't even know why I saw it or where it was, but like he spent time in his career hanging out with Warren Buffett. I want to be a billionaire. I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to have a lot of fame. How do I do this? And so Warren Buffett gave him a lot of advice, and they struck up some kind of relationship. And Buffett, had a bunch of quotes in the story I read. So, yeah, he does do different things. I don't know how many NBA players or how many pro athletes seek out Warren Buffett because they want to build wealth. Seems like a good guy to go to if he wants some advice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's done different things. Yeah, I get your point.
It would be a big-time surprise. But if Dwayne Wade is going to advocate it, and if
Dwayne Wade's recruiting him, he would be crazy not to bring in Kevin Love to recruit him also.
Well, then I want Dwayne Wade recruiting for the Jazz no matter who it is.
Well, yeah, that was one thing we heard early on. Now, the nature of recruiting, it's not all public. But when he came aboard, that was supposed to be one of the positives. And he was very high profile at first. Then we didn't hear much from him. But lately we're seeing him in more games. And maybe he's been in games they just don't show him. So it's not like we're tracking his every move.
Yeah, when he comes out and sits in the arena.
When he sits in the front row, you can't miss him. Right.
Yeah.
But he can also sit in
as the team
suite.
gets better, maybe we'll see him more.
Yeah.
But if he's advocating for the Jazz, that's a good thing. Because Dwayne Wade has stature because of his outstanding play. He's a Hall of Famer, obviously.
Yeah.
And so the whole concept of him advocating is positive. And as it continues to knock down barriers one after another, is a positive for the franchise, is a positive for the community, and so forth and so on. One leads to another. And ultimately, as far as the fan who we speak to, he or she wants the team to win. And they don't care if it's LeBron James or Harry James or David James or you name it. They don't care.
I'm out there hitting 40-foot set shots.
Do you really care? I don't.
No, and Scott's right there. We have so many comments here. Scott, if it means a title, ... Sure. Scott's like, don't tell me how you make the stew. Just call me for dinner.
Right.
When does the championship window open? Let's go.
Because you got into the fandom of the team, and then once you did, it's about winning. And
everywhere at every level.
Yeah, right. And looks like we're on the other side of consistently losing. So now it's about winning and adding pieces. You're going to need pieces, right? And who knows? If it's not LeBron, it's whoever it might be. And that's one way to go, because you get veteran dudes who have made the money and had the fame and blah, 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 and they want to go to a winning situation. We see that all the time. And here, this would be a great situation for I'm not talking about LeBron in his prime. I'm talking about a LeBron type of player now. A veteran guy, understands the game, understands his role, come in and help you win. There's some satisfaction there as you close out your active playing career, something that you have been doing for probably 25 to 30 years, depending on how, whatever.
For LeBron, his entire life.
Well, I'm talking about...
But for anybody.
The first time you get on a competitive basketball team, was it first grade, second grade? I don't know. Whatever it might be.
Right.
And you've been doing that, and
it's all you know.
You know it's coming to an end, and to be in a situation where you can help and give back. Everybody wants to give back, I think, as you get older, as a way of... It's just I think it's a natural human... I don't know if the word emotion or inclination is the word. And then you have an opportunity to experience some success there. And probably isn't going to be LeBron, but there are other players. And as this team goes about winning, those players become more and more vital. Michael Thompson is still living off what he brought to the Lakers 40-plus years ago.
Yep. Yeah, he is. And he brought a lot.
Right.
And people knew it.
Right.
It was falling apart. The dynasty is over. And then they got 2 more titles.
Right.
And he was good on those 2 teams.
Right. As a former number 1 pick, I believe.
Yeah.
And so there's something to be said for that. And you're not asked to carry the load, but you're asked to do things in your particular way that add value. And I think that would be fun if I were a veteran and had stature. And I think we're seeing it with Kevin Love, and it's not a winning situation right now. But it's interesting to see what Kevin Love is thinking, if Kevin has found a little bit of a rejuvenation. Because you see him over there smiling and carrying on and looking like, okay, this is a good spot to be in, and maybe he can help them. Maybe he can be that next year.
He's older. He's not as fast. He doesn't jump as high. He's got the gray hair on the court. It's a clear reminder he's older every time you see him. But you're the king of body language. You ever seen bad body language out of that guy?
Not in any public forum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what's exciting about this team once we get through the summer and they reconvene here in September and get started, is that it's going to be fresh. Winning is going to be fresh for all of these guys as a group, because it hasn't had winning here for 4 years. Well, it's going to have it the 5th year. It's going to have it. Yeah. And that's exciting, and that's what makes it so intriguing. And then what do they do? Because now you can get a veteran. Now getting a veteran, he probably didn't want to come here in the last few years because it wasn't winning. Well, now, hey, come here and be a part of it. Let's take this thing up. How can we take it up 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, whatever it might be?
Pretty much everybody, when we were listening earlier, veterans they brought in later, pretty much that's what everybody came for. For the guys who did it a long time ago, it was more obvious because Stockton and Malone were just cranking out 50-win seasons. So it was easier for the Antoine Carrs, Mannings, and Starks to sign. But to your point about Joe Johnson, that's precisely when he came. That's the moment he stepped into. There'd been a rebuild going on. What veteran wants to do that at the end of their career if they can help it, right? It's much better to step in and say, "Ooh, you guys are about to take a jump. Yeah, I'll come be a part of that." And that was Joe Johnson's timing exactly.
Right. What I would like to see them do is get a player. If you could have got Joe younger, that would have been awesome. But get a Matt Harpring type of guy who still has some stuff in the tank. Now, eventually, injuries did him in, obviously, so he had to step aside.
Yeah, but he had a pretty good run. Yeah. Pretty good long run here.
Right. And he fit in, and he was good.
I'd have to look at what age he came, because to me, that seems more like kind of the Jackson deal as far as Jackson had more success.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Jackson's a higher level player.
Yeah, Jackson had more success than Harpering. But as far as like age range, it's like you're a veteran, but you still got your prime in front of you. I mean, Jackson.
Well, I think Jackson does. I don't think there's any
thought
question.
Harpering was actually a little younger than Jackson. I thought he probably came here a couple years younger, but maybe I'm not remembering that right.
Oh, I'm thinking older.
Are you thinking adding like a 30-year-old?
Yeah, a dude who knows how to play the game and still can give you high-level production in his own capability.
I would only tweak that to say knows how to play the playoff game because the playoffs are different than the regular season. I am really confident. I can't say I know, but I am really confident that this group is going to be very good in the regular season next year. But the playoffs are a different beast, and no one here has sampled it. So to bring in a couple guys, except for Jackson, bring in a couple guys who've sampled it, who are going to be part of that 8-man rotation.
Love.
Well, yeah, but I don't think of him as part of the 8-man rotation. He'll be in the locker room. He'll be a voice, but I don't see him as part of an 8-player rotation in the playoffs next year. Maybe I'm wrong. Jackson will be. But the people I think are going to be in the rotation, they don't have playoff experience. Now, you got a whole summer to address that, so who knows what is to come. I mean, the thing I like about this, even though I don't think it's going to happen, I think the most likely outcome by far is that LeBron retires and he doesn't go and play anywhere else.
You think he's done?
Yes.
Okay.
I think he's in his 40s. The numbers are slipping.
He's in his 40s.
Yeah. The numbers are slipping, and...
So what?
I know. He could, and that leaves the door open. That's why I can't say 100%, but I think most likely...
Is he playing for numbers?
I don't think he wants to be hanging on at the end. We always talk about the Willie Mays, Joe Namath to the Rams, Ewing to Seattle, Olajuwon to Toronto, just hanging on at the end. I don't think he wants that. I think he's carried himself with. He's proud, and he should be. He carries himself with a lot of pride.
Who wants that? Nobody wants. I've sucked. I've slipped so far that I am just hanging on by. Nobody wants that.
I think he's savvy enough to assess it and not step into that trap. To your point, nobody wants it, but some people step into the trap, and I don't think he will. And I think he's going to look at. I'm getting pretty close to my rookie numbers here. I'm out. So I think that's what will happen.
If your rookie numbers and your team is fresh and the winning is exciting and it's brand new and it's not – the Lakers is a horrible situation because either you're going to win it all or you're a bunch of bums.
And there's that, and there's also a bunch of
it's a soap opera at all times.
It's a soap opera behind the scenes, and lately it's not even behind the scenes. Soap opera's out in public.
So you don't get that here.
Yeah.
So maybe it might be fresh. That's what I'm saying. It's a fresh situation. Do it for a couple years. Everybody understands the situation. Does that take away? Does it taint your legacy? I don't think so.
But what you have to like about this, even for all the people who are screaming, no, 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 what you have to like about this is the organization is turning over every rock. And winning at the highest level is really hard. Like if you're good, you can get to the top 8, 10, 6 in the league, whatever. If you're smart, you make good decisions. But then you need a little luck, and you need to examine every single path, even if it looks like a bad path.
Every nook and cranny?
Yes, exactly. I did not think of nooks, and nor did I think of crannies. But, yes.
I always think of nooks.
Turn over every rock. Whatever unlikely thing there is out there, they should be looking at all of them, and this is a sign they are.
Is it stone or rock, though?
Oh, that's a good question right there. Wow, ponder that. That's deep. Let's get to that in the next segment. Also, coming up at the top of the hour, Brian Geltzeiler, SiriusXM NBA Radio and NBA TV. We'll see what he thinks of LeBron's future. We'll see what he thinks at the top of the NBA draft as well. We'll talk with him at 9 o'clock. Stay with us right here on The Zone.
Whirls around and down. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone is your exclusive home of the Utah Jazz. And we want to send you to the Delta Center to see the Jazz in action. Listen every Tuesday for the Jazz Ticket Tuesday Sounder at 30 past the hour, every hour, all day long. And if you're caller number 12, you'll be on your way to an upcoming game.
Buy one, you'll get one free.
It's Jazz Ticket Tuesday, every Tuesday throughout the NBA season on your radio home for the Utah Jazz. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK.
You know what I've discovered?
What?
That the Baseball Classic is the greatest trumped-up tournaments of all trumped-up tournaments.
For something that's brand new and has no tradition, you're really enjoying it.
Although it's been around for a while.
Is this the 4th edition? I've lost track.
Probably. I can remember sitting in a hotel in Denver covering either U of U women's basketball in the Sweet 16 or BYU. I remember being in Denver, and it was snowing like crazy, and I'm watching it.
There's 06.
5 times.
Yeah, I thought 5.
Yeah.
5.
So the first one, my experience, I'm at Cafe Rio. They don't even have the location there anymore. They've moved it, just in the same area, but not in the literal same building, over by Creek Road there, and 72nd South in Sandy or whatever it's called, Cottonwood Heights, and sitting there having a sort of a late lunch, early dinner. It's like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and I get this call from my sister. And, hey, hi, Patrick. And they all call me Patrick. And because my sister's name, my one sister was Patty, my father was Patrick too, so we had to differentiate. And hey, what's going on? Somebody here wants to talk to you. She puts person on. She's at the baseball classic in Phoenix. Sitting next to her is some lady. Says she's from Utah, and now all my family, anybody from Arizona, if they find someone is from Utah, do you listen to the sports radio? Well, he's my brother. And you want to talk to him? Sure. She hands her the phone and gives her the phone, and I'm talking to a complete stranger. And I don't do well with strangers.
This is all true, by the way, people.
I kind of recoil
especially when you
bit.
can't see them. I mean, that is an awkward situation in your defense.
So she went, big baseball fan, and went to the first time that it was in Phoenix, the baseball classic. But this thing, for a trumped-up thing, has really scored. I would have to think that whoever started, was it C-League or whoever, the creators of this, are stunned that it's this big of a deal.
Stunned.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good deal when it was in the Olympics, and then the problem with the Olympics is the Major League Baseball didn't want to take a break, and so it didn't really – it was fun, but it wasn't the best players. It wasn't close because baseball wasn't going to take a 2-week break in July or August.
Which I think they should. Harper has been talking about playing in the Olympics,
yeah.
And I think he's right. We just saw what it did for hockey. It was the most talked about event, and it was wild, and it was captivating. And they can do that in Los Angeles. Do it. Take a couple weeks off. It's not going to kill you.
Figure it out.
Right.
You played 150 game seasons before. Do it again if that's what it takes.
If that would have took that season,
or if it's more doubleheaders, or if it start a week early, or whatever.
Yeah. If you're worried about the weather for the World Series, then take that World Series and stick it in the dome somewhere, or Dodger Stadium, or wherever. Dodgers will probably be in it anyway, so the National League games will be okay weather-wise.
Fine.
Yeah. But you want to grow. Whatever it is you want to grow. You never stop. And the rolling down the tracks of the train never stop. It's endless.
How many teams do you feel like are legit competitive now? Because that's always been the thing with basketball in the Olympics, too. Like, how many games can be legit competitive at the very top?
Well, I think obviously you got the U.S.,
Japan,
maybe Canada, Japan, the
Mexico,
Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico, and Mexico, where there's a bunch of MLB guys.
Right. Korea not quite there yet.
No, but
decent.
They've got a few.
Right.
I mean, and the Korean League, I can remember in COVID when we didn't have any sports and the thing came on at 11 o'clock on a Friday night. I stayed up to watch it.
First thing I thought, ooh, turf field.
But, I mean, it was baseball. It looked like real baseball to me.
I know.
Guys were playing the game the way it's intended to be played. So I think they should do it. I think Bryce Harper is right in that way. But this thing has really stunned me to the level of captivation and interest and all that. I mean, that game last night was awesome. Yeah, it was great. And they have 2 guys from the Air Force Academy that pitched.
I was at the Jazz game, and it was on TVs all over the place. It's reached that level of status.
Yeah.
It was on. I saw it on multiple floors.
Some horrible base running.
Don't make the third out at third base. That was a great throw by Judge.
You never make the third out at third base, but you can make the third out at the plate. You do not make the first or second out at the plate. But you are comfortable making the third out at the plate if it's a bang-banger. If it's a close play, sure, because things can go wrong. It's hard for the catcher with that big
throw might be a little offline. Catcher might not catch it cleanly. Yeah. Sure, a lot of stuff can happen.
But
that was a great throw by Judge. And he had the home run. He kind of set the tone early in that one.
Aaron Judge.
Yeah. Got his 2-run homer.
What a beast. I don't think he can ever replace Babe Ruth, but could he go down as the second greatest?
The second greatest Yankee?
High standard.
Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, Joe DiMaggio. Yeah, there's some legendary names, and I haven't even gotten to all of them.
Lou Gehrig, Derek Jeter.
There's a couple more. Sure. There's a high standard.
Scott Barocious.
Nah, I think he's past Scott Barocious.
Milky Cabrera.
Past Cabrera.
Bernie Williams.
Yeah, he's past Bernie Williams.
Joe Pepitone.
What are you doing? How long will I play this game?
That's your call.
That's why I dropped. What
Horace
are you doing?
Clark. Roy White.
Roy White. Mickey Rivers.
Mickey Rivers. Deion Sanders.
I loved Mickey Rivers. I don't know why, but when I was a little kid, I loved Mickey Rivers. All right, Brian Geltzeller, who'd probably talk Yankees all day with us, joins us, Sirius XM, NBA Radio, and NBA TV. Jersey attitude on the way. What does he think about LeBron playing another year? What does he think about the top of the NBA draft? That is all coming up. Stay with us.
Ellie's Eden, part of Azure Standard, was created to make gardening more meaningful for families. In the Azure family, gardening is more than a hobby. It's how kids learn where food comes from, how families slow down together, and how we care for the land. Ellie's Eden offers carefully selected plant starts, seeds, and garden essentials, chosen to help you grow with confidence. Whether you're expanding backyard beds or planting your first patio garden, Ellie's Eden helps you grow something lasting. Explore Ellie's Eden at azurestandard.com.
Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of General tires. Go to TireRack.com to see their General Tire test results, tire ratings, and reviews, and be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.